most of our solutions are trying to address the problem at the tertiary level. After people have left schools, they have left colleges, and they have formed their own mindsets with rigid mentalities, with fixed egos, with half-baked knowledge. Half-baked knowledge with fixed egos is fantastic combination for civilizational destruction. So you're right that the investment obviously has to be at the first end, which is at the primary level. But I would go a step further, which is why I started with the family, because a parent doesn't have the moral authority to speak about dharma if the child doesn't see the parent following it. I don't know how many people know Tamil here, but I would assume that Malayalam and Tamil are cognate languages, and I'll switch to Tamil just for a moment. If my parent were to ask me to do something which they have not done, I'll say, "Nee matra enna panna?" I'll turn around and simply ask that question. And I'm the kind of child who always asks that question. Uddand of the first order. So if you can convince me, you can convince others. So my point is, before we think of Hindu children, we need to have extended community services for Hindu parents and Hindu parenting. They don't know what is Nakshatram, they don't know what is Tithi, they know nothing at all. All they know is to eat when a green leaf is placed in front of them. Culture is reduced to Sadhya and nothing more. Onam is reduced to it. Festivals are reduced to it. They have no understanding whatsoever. So when their children face propaganda with respect to their festivals in schools, they have no defense mechanisms because they don't know. And when they go to their parents, they'll say, "You focus on education. Why are you so interested in culture?" So the first step is to address Hindu parenting. And the second step is perhaps slightly more controversial, but I am not new to controversy, so I'll say it. Stop sending your children to schools which don't encourage Sanatana Dharma. You are hoping that somehow this child will not succumb to peer pressure at a place where they have to make friends. They can't be seen as having different identities because individuality is not respected at that age. They are the subject of bullying and whatnot. They can't go with the vibhuti or the kumkum or whatever it is. My exhortation to Hindu organizations across the board has been, please set up more schools and make sure that the quality of your schools and institutions don't fall. Because nobody should be able to point fingers at us. They have to survive the pressure and the competition of the real world outside, and they also need their cultural moorings. We have to find a way to marry both and blend both. The primary investment of every independent country post-colonization, except for Bharat, was in education. In bringing back their old education systems. We were the only country to take forward the education policy of the colonizer. Now it's okay to continue playing this blame game until 2014. I will ask this honest question, what has happened post 2014 on the education front? Now if I were an organizational loyalist, I'll say, "Sab kuch ho gaya, everything is done." But because I'm not, I will say, what have you done? What is the concrete outcome there? What is the investment in education policy? What is the investment in defending that education policy when people accuse you of saffronization? Do you have the confidence to say, yes, it is saffronization, so what? Do you have the confidence to say that, no, we will constantly move to a defensive position to say, no, it is not saffronization, it's Indianization. As long as you don't have the confidence to defend the saffron, you have no business pontificating about Hindutva to anybody. Okay?